This is today's interview, and here's your host, Gary Burbank.
Why, thank you. The debate over who invented the hamburger continues to rage like an angry sea, threatening to shred the social fabric that holds the republic together. And Drew Cerza, a hamburger expert, he hoped things would be settled at the recent Hamburger Festival in Akron, but scholars failed to reach a consensus again. And Drew, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Okay, hope you're not too disappointed about them not reaching a consensus over, where it really came from.
Well, I've been looking forward to this for years, and it's a little disappointing, but it was quite drama in the courtroom.
I imagine so. Drew, we've always heard that the hamburger was invented in Hamburg, Germany. That's not true, I guess.
Well, there's so many different controversial stories. One is Hamburg, Germany. One is Hamburg, New York. Athens, Texas, New Haven, Connecticut, and Seymour, Wisconsin. And that's what we tried to do last Saturday. We brought all four cities together and the families, and we had courtroom drama. They all had a chance to state their case. We had a jury and judge, and we just couldn't come up with a final verdict. We actually had a hung jury.
Yeah, you had a hung jury. They couldn't decide. Was the jury made up of not necessarily their peers, but people from different areas of the country, and they still couldn't decide?
Yeah, different areas of the country, different professions, a housewife to a banker to aficionados of the hamburger, and it was quite a show.
Well, being an expert, you must have had an opinion. I mean, just sitting. I mean, would you go as far as to say who you personally were leaning toward?
Well, I'm like Switzerland. I love everybody.
Okay.
They all had great stories. It was courtroom drama. It was a cross between People's Court and a Seinfeld Kramer suing the coffee company episode. I can't. It was. It became a mock trial. It's actually going to be online in 2 days. The actual trial was 45 minutes long. It'll be online, available to be seen at hamburgerfestival.com. But they all stated their case. But I have one thing I have to say.
Yeah.
If it wasn't invented in Hamburg, New York, why wouldn't they call it the hamburger?
In a way, I mean, if it had to come from Hamburg somewhere, you would think it's not ham. Mm-hmm. I mean, and what's a burger? You got a Burgermeister in Germany who is a person who is like a mayor or something,
right.
So I mean, yeah.
And the Texas one seems really far fetched. When did it come about approximately?
Well, two of the cities both claim it was invented in 1885. And when the judge called order in the courtroom, when everybody went wild, the one city was asked, when did you invent it? And they said August. And, of course, what did the other cities say? July.
Yeah, naturally, July. One month before, we had it. And I wonder what the first condiments were on hamburgers. Could they agree on that?
It didn't come up, but, I would have to say America's favorite condiment is the ketchup. So I think we'd all go with the ketchup. The problem is back then we didn't have the CNNs, the USA Today, so It was all word of mouth.
And back then, did we actually have ketchup back then? I mean, I'm thinking, back in those days, today ketchup is the number one condiment, but back in the old days, you may have had mustard, you may have had even, something different, mayonnaise or horseradish even.
I hate to ask where horseradish came from.
Let's not talk about that. Okay.
But
okay.
How about we find out who invented the ketchup?
That's an idea.
To get out of control.
Well, Heinz is going to take credit for that. Do sandwiches get a patent or a trademark? Is that what they're going for here, Drew?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't think anybody's ever tried to patent it. Wow.
Well, if someone,
maybe why don't we
you should do it. You immediately run up and do it and say,
"Your idea."
Say, I invented it. There you go, and I invented it yesterday because here's my patent. So, was there a town that you thought wanted it the most, one that really wanted to be the hamburger capital?
I would have to say Akron, Ohio. You see, one of the stories is the Mencius brothers from Akron, Ohio, were concessionaires traveling through Buffalo, New York, and they came to the Hamburg Fair. And they actually sold pork sandwiches. And the story goes, the last day of the festival, they ran out of pork. So they went to a farmer and asked if they would slaughter a pig, and they wouldn't do it. So they said, we do have some beef available. And that's where they actually took the beef, they squished it down and served it for the first time, supposedly, between two pieces of bread.
Now, see, that stays with me. That story stays with me. It sounds like a very good, authentic story.
Thank God they ran out of pork, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if you run out of pork, what do? I mean, you get beef.
Or we'd be at a picnic saying, what do you want, a hot dog or a hot dog?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Exactly.
They gave us the option.
Hey, are hamburgers a worldwide sensation, or is that just something in the States?
It's worldwide.
It
definitely is worldwide. I would have to say it is the number one food in America, even over and above hot dogs. I mean, there's so many different franchises out there, and franchises keep popping up. Of course, you got the McDonald's and the Burger King and the Wendy's, but you got the Red Robins, you got the White Castles. I mean, there's more franchises popping up. Hamburgers, it's a fun food, too. You get the fries on the side and the shake. I would have to say it's America's number one food.
Okay, and it's become a worldwide sensation. And
all over.
We do agree, then, if it wasn't in Hamburg, Germany, anybody else in the world besides Hamburg, Germany claiming?
No, nobody has.
So it's American.
I'll tell you what. Something tells me we could have a rematch next year, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get the folks from Hamburg, Germany. They would be tough to understand in the trial, of course.
Right.
But we could bring some interpreters in.
All right, well, okay, again, if you want to see this now, it's hamburgerfestival.com. Right, Drew?
Yes, and, it'll be up in the next 2 days or so, but you can go online and vote. What you can do, you can go to the website. We actually have a page that's tagged Hamburger Hearings. If you click on that icon, you will hear, you'll not hear, but you'll be able to read the 4 different stories and cast your vote. If you want to, if you're really bored out of your skull, you can actually look at the whole 45 minutes. It's actually very entertaining.
Well, yeah, I would think so. I mean, this could be a lot of stuff that's on TV in the summertime anyway. It's the ultimate reality. It's the ultimate reality show.
The Food Network came out and filmed it. They're actually going to do an episode for Unwrapped, so you'll be able to see it probably next spring as well. I mean, this thing's big. It's big. It's huge.
All right, Drew. Thank you very much. Okay.
Hey, thanks, guys.
We'll talk to you later. Good luck to you.
This is the BBC.
700 WLW.